Hi, in this video I will talk about my daughter. Uh, for the first time this year, and probably in the last 2 or 3 or 4 years, my daughter read with me. She read with me an email by Joel and Victoria Osteen, where they talked about the Bible verse, where if two of you are gathered in my name, anything you ask, it will be given unto thee. Get this, the daughter even did Tai Chi Chuan with me for 39 minutes. I keep track of time because I put a video with Jet Li on to play on the iPod, and I put it over and over and over again, and it's 3 minutes long times 13, I think, equals 39 minutes. Why did my daughter change with me? Is because I have not forced her to practice Tai Chi, but again, I have not been talking to her besides saying good morning. Well, if she comes to talk to me, then I talk to her, but I don't go to her. That's what I'm talking about. Now I'm in this room, in the living room. Now they don't really want me here. Yesterday the toilet was clogged and the spouse blamed me, and I hadn't gone to the toilet at all. Not for what would clog it. I didn't actually go until like midnight yesterday. All right. So back to my daughter. First, I taught her, don't offend. This is from Chuck Norris in the commercial where he says the first defense is not to offend anyone. Chuck Norris. He had a commercial on TV. The second one I was teaching her was be prepared. That one comes from Booker T. Washington. Then I taught her to butt head to the attacker. When they grab you from behind, you just hit them with your butt. And then you sidestep and you spread your wings, and they fall over your knee, which is behind them. You put your leg behind them. I also taught her how to scoop the kick. How to scoop the kick, or it's actually like this. Scoop the kick and get out of the way as you walk. Then I taught her not to cross herself, like when she's punching and stuff like that, not to get crossed, and then I just push in the center and I trap both arms. Don't cross yourselves and also your hand does not go beyond your center line. If you will need to block, and it has to be with this hand, because this hand is for this side and this other hand is for the other side, right? This one, I'll use fingers so you can see. This hand blocks this side and this hand blocks this side. But if you really have to use this hand to block this side, then don't just let it go over there by itself. Turn your body with it. And then Bruce Lee, he would stand, like these are his legs, right? He wouldn't cross over and then kick. He would always like step, boom, bam. Right? He wouldn't do any of these crossing overs and kicking. All right. I told her to learn about the yin and the yang, and in that I just realized how to do pressure points. There was a little guy that did it to me, and these pressure points, he knew exactly where to go on your arm and just walk along your arm and just ow, ow, oh, ow, yeah, okay. But I didn't learn it based on that. My system is intuitive. uh, so many years of Tai Chi Chuan and then so many years of not practicing, and all of a sudden it came to me after watching. Mine is not specific, but somehow with the yin and yang and the strong and the soft areas of my opponent, I can bend my daughter and my son to the floor by just pushing on their back usually, or on their sides, or even on their stomachs. Um, it's but a bigger opponent, what would happen? I think that a bigger opponent would get injured by my finger jabs, because the children, they instantly collapse. A bigger opponent would probably do something to fight my pressure. So I've told my daughter, be gentle, my daughter. I am teaching you and not trying to hurt you. Do it slowly, or you might trigger a reaction from me. I think I was telling her to grab me from behind, and she did. And then took her down gently to the floor. But maybe the fourth time, I think she sort of jumped on me and around my neck. And I said, I grabbed her hand, right, arms, and I said, be gentle, or stop. I think I yelled stop with power. Stop. Then I told her, do it slowly, or you might trigger a reaction from me. And if she triggers a reaction from me, I could actually really hurt her, you know. Then she says, no one fights like you, Daniel. Then I told her, I know. When I was super skinny at 5 feet 10 inches tall and 160, maybe even less than 160 pounds, because I was very hungry. I just didn't have enough food, and I was in deep trouble, you know. I know when I was skinny, they said that one punch and I would be finished. And that is true. But then my teacher was 100 pounds, maybe 110. He was slim, very slim. And I wanted to imitate him. I had the speed, not quite the skills, but of course never the skills as my teacher, but I had the speed. I could, at that young age, I could keep up with him. Now that I'm old and fat, they might say, you're slow and fat and have no balance. So they all ignore me and don't want to test me, which is fine. I've met some younger guys who say, nah, but I can't fool the trained eye. I cannot fool the trained eye. There are still traces of my 7 years of training, and I just began to develop the pressure point technique. My brain, all of a sudden, just understood it after watching Sistema and the Monkey Man in India. I gotta learn to pronounce these long Indian names. Alright? So that's something that it's really wonderful to be able to practice and teach your children. Today I told her, you're not my daughter, you are my disciple. Not completely, of course. My son is also my disciple, but I want them, since they're both my biological children, I want them to suffer less than I did in this life. And the way Booker T. Washington describes it is, you can get better at something every day, or you can get worse at it. You can improve yourself every day or every year, or you can not improve and actually regress, I think is the word. So that's where we are. My daughter is starting to read with me, and I recorded the first video that she was sitting on the sofa with me. I'm happy about that. The spouse, she was nice to me again this morning. That was nice. Because she's in such a run to one school, to the other school, to uh, come back here, make breakfast for herself. But she also gave me breakfast, and then she said she had to go call the water company, and they told her you have until the 30th of September to pay because it's due today. She doesn't have the money. Oh boy. What can I help? How can I help the spouse? If she doesn't sit down, it's going to be very difficult. She told me to open the door for the plumber when he comes back. I told her, make him come at 6 o'clock when you're home, or 6:30 or 7 when she's really home. Sometimes she comes earlier than that, but we'll see. Take care of yourself. Be better than I am. Read Booker T. Washington's book.